So every time you're given a chance for England, you really capitalise on it. But what does it mean coming into England's World Cup qualifying campaign and you're the man leading the line?
Very happy, you know, when I found out I was starting, I was very excited, you know, to play, and I love playing for England and pulling on the shirt, and it's still a dream of mine to, you know, to be playing for England. So it's about taking my opportunity when it comes and I step on the pitch, and thankfully I got two tonight. What
does it mean, adding that extra two?
It means a lot, you know. I know I've not spoken to any of my family yet, but you know they'll be very happy because I'm still relatively new to playing for England. But I feel like I've taken it in my stride and I'm enjoying it, and I feel confident when I'm on the pitch. So you know, when I do get chances, albeit I didn't score the first one, I was happy to put two away.
We know you've already won a World Cup, but at senior level, how much would you like to push Harry Kane to be the regular starter?
That's what I'm here to do, you know. I've got to back myself, and you know, in me pushing him, that'll make him better as well. So it's all about competition and competition for places. So I think everybody to a man wants to play, you know, and be in the starting 11 for the country. So I'm no different. So like I say, just got to take my chance when it comes.
So much talent and so much new talent making an impact. You were all talking to each other so much about capitalising on the pitch. You really all seem to be working off each other and really enjoying yourself. Prowse of his first goal, and Ollie as well.
Yeah, very happy for him, for both of them, and obviously Ollie to score on his debut. I know what that feels like, so he's I'm sure he'll be a very, very happy man, and we're all happy for him as well. But it's one of the things that I noticed, you know, when I first came into the setup, that how easy it was, you know, to feel settled, and the kind of the morale in the team. It's a welcoming team, and I think that's what will help get the best out of the ability that we've got.
Gareth Southgate, the first England manager, the first man to get 50 caps as a player and manage 50 matches for England. What has he brought to this team, and how far can he take you all?
I think he brings a cool, calm collectedness from what I've noticed from joining up with England, and he made me as a new player, you know, feel comfortable, and kind of just said, continue to do what you've been doing for your club here. And that gives me all the confidence in the world, you know, to step on the pitch and score goals. And you know, he's the man leading the ship at the moment. And you look at the players that we've got, and it's about getting the best out of us. And I think he can do that.
You all took a knee today, a great celebration for you all. It shouldn't really be the responsibility of the players to keep on pushing home the anti-racism message, but why is it so important for you all?
I think it goes without saying, you know, we get asked these questions a lot, and it's massively important with the platform that we have. And you know, you see incidents still happening now on social media and things like that, and I personally don't quite have the answers. You know, I've spoke about it a few times, so it's very difficult, but all we can do as players with the platform is continue to make a stand and stand for what's right, and hopefully, you know, that filters down and affects other people around, and you know, we finally get some change.
We all stand with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In action tonight, there were wins for England, Germany and Italy. Spain held in their opening qualifier at home to Greece. Elsewhere, wins for Switzerland, Denmark, Sweden. Moldova and Faroe Islands finished one apiece. Scotland equalised late against Austria. Albania in England's group picked up a win on the road against Andorra. Hungary and Poland finished 3-3 in a thriller. Armenia won 1-0 on the road in Liechtenstein. Romania edged past North Macedonia 3-2, and confirmation of Germany's 3-0 win against.
They could have scored a little bit more, you know, in the box at the top end of the pitch, especially in the first half. I'm talking about Calvert-Lewin, but overall, you know, in the box at the top end of the pitch, especially in the first half. I'm talking about Calvert-Lewin, but overall, you know, when you have that kind of focus, it's good in the midfield. A lot of rotation, you know, you gave minute to a lot of people. I'm talking about Mings and Bellingham in the midfield, so that was good. You know, they were always trying to find the free man, then the third man run. So they were quite good, and they build on their confidence. It's really good, you know, before going to Albania. So that's overall, that's a very good night. A clean sheet, of course, but it's just the amount of chances. You know, the ratio wasn't there, but that's good for, especially for Calvert-Lewin. Before going to Albania, so that's overall, that's a very good night. A clean sheet, of course, but it's just the amount of chances. You know, the ratio wasn't there, but that's good for, especially for Calvert-Lewin, you know, and Watkins, because you want them to score.
Yeah, no Harry Kane tonight. Dominic Calvert-Lewin took the chance to start and score twice for England. That was James Ward-Prowse we saw score his first ever goal for the national side. But that man in goal had a very busy night. Would it be greedy to say England should have had more than the 5?
To be honest, I think it's a fitting result. Gareth Southgate's 50th game and you win 5-0. 50 for 50. I think it's a really fitting
any
result.
other nation, you'd take that.
What kind of maths is that?
It's a math. It's 5-0, 5-0. No, but I'm just saying. Of course, they had plenty of chances. But what we keep saying is the results. You know, it doesn't matter how many goals you score. Yeah, of course, 5-0 is 5-0. It's a great result against the weakest team out there, the weakest nation out there. But you know, 3 points is all that matters, especially knowing what the other results in the group are. This is just a must-win. And what we said before the game as well, it is good to see all the players that are coming through the ranks now, giving them time, and see them scoring goals as well. So that's what you want to see from a coach. Not only pinpointing 2 or 3 players that can only score and be creative in this team. You need more and more weapons in your team. And we could see that today. I mean, you know, Calvert-Lewin scored today, Ollie Watkins scored today, Prowse scored today. Normally not the guys you see on the score sheet for England.
It's a hypothetical, but if there was no Harry Kane this summer going into the European Championships, who'd be his understudy? Who's in pole position to be number 2 behind Harry Kane?
I like Watkins a lot. I like him. You know, I like these compact players, fast. You know, compact. He's not afraid to get a tackle in. He's always, you know, making defenders busy. He loves to play football around. You know, so I will go for Watkins. But
off the basis of what you've seen tonight?
No, off the basis what I see him doing already all the season. You know, also in Aston Villa, and this is his first game in England. You got to understand that, and he got his first goal in. So hopefully many more for him and also for England. Calvert-Lewin, of course, is a great striker, and Everton as well. But if I have to go for one, I go for Watkins. But I probably think Southgate is going to take both of them with him to the.
Calvert-Lewin and Watkins would go.
I think so. Yeah, as many strike force you can get. You know, behind Kane, you never know what's going to happen in the game. You know, it can always change in the game. You need more strikers on. So seeing them striking goals, I think will be good for Southgate to take 2.
Yeah, they don't play 2 up front, so of course you need for a big competition you need 3 striker. I think Calvert-Lewin is really good in the air. When you see him, you know, he's quite strong, physical. You know, he likes deliveries and crosses. Was in Everton, but Watkins, if he continues like this, I'm agree with Nigel. He's got great future because. He's a bit more complete, you know, and can drop in the middle of the park. I think his execution is really good on the floor, you know. He's a striker, you need that, you know. You don't have time, you know, just to think, you know. Sometimes it's one touch, sometimes you just control and boom. And you've seen some goals with Villa, so it's quite not unpredictable, but it is really, really quick, you know, between the control and just to pull the trigger.
He's a handful. For a defender, he's a handful. It's so annoying to play against players like that because he's always on the move. He's so hungry. He always wants the ball. He wants to come. He drops off. Then he drops into space. You know, he got the speed, and he's such a compact player. You know, in the likes of that we've seen over the years. You know, Aguero, Carlos Tevez. They're all certain type of players, and I think Watkins is one of them, and he has a great future. Also, seeing where he comes from. You know, he's not been playing for years in the Premier League. So you know. Consider the fact that he just had the experience in the Premier League and then also coming in the English squad and be for such an impact straight away, because that's the main thing.
And Nigel, you know, it's what you have around as well. You know, once you have that speed, that pace and power, you know, with Rashford, with Sterling, you need to create some spaces for them sometimes, and that's what Kane is. He's one of the best in the world for that. You know, he can drop, and he's really intelligent when to drop, where to drop, and you can see those runs, you know, from Sterling. So Watkins is more able to do that. You know, not to make the play a little bit cagey. You know, he's capable of being in the box, but as well dropping, creating things for the other, and then they can occupy the spaces. So he's a bit more complete than Calvert-Lewin, even though he's a really, really good striker. Yeah.
What about in the midfield? What did you make of Jude Bellingham's performance? Is he different to anything else that England have available right now?
Yeah, I think he's more of a box-to-box power, technical gifted player. You know, the way how he handles the ball, the way how his feet is always setting. He's always looking for going forward in his passing. You know, he's not a typical England midfielder. He's always trying to pass the ball. You know what I mean? Like, he's more of a type of a Vieira, what I seen back in the days, you know, with the Arsenal. And he's still young, of course. But
17.
17, yeah. I mean, 17 and so mature already. And I think he did well for him. You know, the move that he made to Dortmund. technical side. He's always loving to play football, always attacking-minded football. And this was a pity. I mean, this would have been something, you know, to score a goal like this in half of a bicycle kick. But he's mature, and of course, you know, he's still young. He will get his ups and his downs, you know, that for sure. But you see, he's so technical gifted. I really like him. I really like him.
Yeah, he feels football, huh?
Yeah,
He understands football. Sometimes you can see straight away when someone, even when he walks, that he's a gifted player. And the
Is
thing
that what
is,
I was doing wrong? Yeah, it's about the walk.
and he's, you know, technically he can, you know, bypass the first pressure really easy. Under pressure, there's no problem. And as well, he's got that ball through. You know, you can see him in Dortmund. But as well, you know, he can carry the ball and advance with the play. You know, with 1-2 touch, you know, he just can eliminate his opponent. So he's a real gem. Honestly, you will England. They've got you know, Foden, and that's you were talking about France yesterday, but you don't have nothing to envy to France, you know, in the offensive play, except Mbappe. They're so gifted. They're really, really good. Grealish wasn't there. Rashford wasn't there. Sancho was there. And whoa.
Well, you speak of that. Jesse Lingard all of a sudden looks like he's been reborn. He's been nowhere international-wise for the last 2 years. Goes to West Ham, he looks a different player.
Yeah, man. He looks, you know, he looks at the player that we've seen and that we always knew that he had the potential, you know, to be a player like that. I think he was caged as a football player at Manchester United. I think, you know, playing for big clubs is not always meant for every football player. And certain players have to play for certain clubs. And I think Jesse Lingard is a type of player that can be himself if he plays for a lesser bigger club than the Uniteds, the Liverpools, the Manchester Cities.
If they can afford him.
If they can afford him, of course. But I mean, you know, in a position like him, playing now for West Ham, he can feel free again. There's no real pressure. He can just play however he wants, you know, with a coach that got trust in him as well. And that's why he get called up again for the England squad. And this is what we want to see from Jesse Lingard. Another Jesse Lingard that we've seen over the last year and a half, you know, just actually tucked away outside the 18 players of Manchester United.